which is a large suburb of San Francisco. I'm a senior graduating this semester with a degree in technical systems management. My mom is a Christian and my dad is Catholic, and I grew up going to a Christian church. I didn't accept Christ until I was a teenager, and I didn't really know him until I was in high school. I didn't realize it at the time, but I think I had a very basic understanding of God. I knew all of the Sunday school answers to faith questions, but I lacked the deep faith and trust that a relationship with Jesus requires. College was the turning point for my faith. 2 weeks before my freshman year of college began, I found out that my dad was diagnosed with cancer. His diagnosis was a devastating blow for my family and for my faith. While I was trying to adjust to college life and to meet new people, my dad was going through chemo and radiation. I felt distant from my family and from God. I couldn't imagine how my dad dying could be part of God's plan for my life or how I could ever grow from it. My dad was so calm and in control when he told us about his diagnosis that it didn't seem like a big deal. No one in my immediate family had ever gone through cancer treatment, so I was naive to the process or the toll it would take on my dad or our family. I remember arriving home from Thanksgiving and crying in the airport because my dad didn't look like the man who raised me for my whole life. My mom warned me before that my dad looked drastically different, but I wasn't prepared to see him with almost all of his hair gone and having lost so much weight. After months of treatment, my dad was officially cancer-free. But during that time, I was doubting the core beliefs of my faith that had become part of my identity as a Christian. I couldn't see how God could be good if I was hurting so much. My faith was shattered. I spent the next couple years rebuilding my fragile faith and learning about the goodness and love of Christ. Through various things like toxic family relationships, my own health problems, and uncertainty over my educational and professional future, I experienced the emotional and spiritual healing and peace that only the Holy Spirit can provide. It was during times like these that I truly experienced God's provision and joy. Because through it all, God is still present and sovereign over everything. As Christians, we are called to live with our hands open for the Lord to take and for the Lord to give. God revealed to me that my dad's health was something that I was unable to give up to him. Not only was I holding on to my dad's health, but I was holding on to the plans that I made that included my dad. I held on to these plans as validation as to why God couldn't take my dad from me. But God doesn't work like this. He doesn't negotiate with us as to why some people stay and some people go. To this day, it's still something that I struggle with, but I know God meets me in it, and He was gracious and patient with me. My dad has been cancer-free for 3.5 years. Before my dad's diagnosis, I couldn't wrap my head around the goodness of God or His love. And since that time, I've learned that God used that period in my life to shape and mold me into who I am today. I truly experienced God's grace, love, and mercy, and I know that God pursues us in our brokenness and redeems it. I don't know where God is calling me. I am graduating this semester and currently in the middle of the full-time job hunt. And while I don't know what my future will look like, I know that God is faithful and good. I'm Emily, and that's a part of my story.